Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I'm the host of the show. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me for another show with no audience. The people you hear clapping are being paid to do it. They are our staff here in what is known as Zone A. Because of COVID, our office is divided up into zones right now. Everybody gets assigned a zone. This is Zone A. This is where we are. Everyone else who works with us is in Zone B. So we look down on the Zone B or zone. We're Zone A. And Zone A is the best zone. The rest of you are Zone BM is what you are over there in the... You know, this morning, an asteroid the size of a school bus narrowly passed by Earth. In astronomical terms, it just missed us, which is a shame. I feel like some of you aren't praying hard enough lately. You know, with each passing day, it seems more and more likely that we're on the brink of something very bad. Our president made another history-making statement last night when asked if he would leave the White House gracefully if he doesn't win.
Win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and you'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation.
Well, so much for that Nobel Peace Prize. That is, you know, we make a lot of jokes about this guy. What he just said is terrifying. If he doesn't win, he wants to burn this country down. Several Republican senators pushed back on the president's dangerous words. Even that old son of a Mitch McConnell poked his head out of his shell to refute it. He tweeted, "The winner of the November 3rd election will be inaugurated on January 20th. There will be an orderly transition, just as there has been every 4 years since 1792. That is crazy. Imagine having to come out and tweet in support of a peaceful transfer of power. You can't just squat the White House. And these monsters, they are busy cooking up all sorts of ways to fix this election. There's a very disturbing report in The Atlantic about this. The Trump administration has a plan to steal this election. As you probably know, the president isn't chosen by popular vote. You know, Hillary beat Trump by almost 3 million votes. Al Gore got more votes than George Bush. The election is officially decided by the states through the Electoral College, but the delegates that get sent to the Electoral College are supposed to vote for the person who got the most votes in their state. But this is Donald world we live in now. He doesn't just look like a Cheeto, it's his motto. So here's what they're planning, according to The Atlantic. Step one, Trump and his sub-demons tell everyone the election is rigged against him, which right off the bat is nuts. He's the president. So, but you can see he's doing that now. He keeps saying the mail-in ballots are fraudulent, even though he himself votes by mail. Then, in the likely event that Biden gets more votes, Trump will be able to say, see, he got fraudulent votes. And then, since 6 of the key battleground states have Republican-controlled legislatures, the legislatures will send Trump loyalists to the Electoral College who will say, well, we don't know who got the most votes. You know, these mail-in ballots are fraudulent. We knew that all along, so since we don't know, we'll go ahead and vote for the guy we like. So they'll cast their votes. Trump wins the Electoral College and is president for 4 more years. You have to hand it to them. They're not too bright, but every once in a blue moon, they come up with a good one. Or maybe Putin comes up with it for them. I don't know. So Trump steals the election, and then who knows what happens. I don't know about you. I miss the days when hearing about a civil war just meant a new Captain America movie was coming out. And while Trump is working hard to discredit an election that hasn't even happened yet, his press secretary, Kylie Macaroni, is busy working to discredit any reporter who dares to ask about this.
Yeah, Kelly, I wonder if you can just clean up or clarify something the president said yesterday. If he loses this election, can you assure us that there will be a peaceful transfer of power?
You are referring to the question asked by the Playboy reporter, right?
I'm referring to you with the president being asked if there would be a peaceful transfer of power, and he did not say yes.
Yeah,
so
I believe.
I'm asking you, will there be a peaceful transfer of power if he loses this election?
I believe that question asked by the Playboy Power. In fact, I think I have it right here.
Gee, Kaylee really doesn't like Playboy. Is that, I mean, you know, lying is sinful too, Kaylee. In any event, I sure hope she doesn't find about this, because God only knows what his little hands are doing in those pockets there. Uncle Scam was at it again today before he visited Florida and North Carolina. He stopped to float more of this nonsense about mail-in ballots.
Mr. President, are the election results only legitimate if you win?
So we have to be very careful with the ballots. The ballots, that's a whole big scam. You know, they found, I understand, 8 ballots in a waste paper basket in some location. They found, it was reported in one of the newspapers that they found a lot of ballots in a river. They throw them out if they have the name Trump on it, I guess, but they had ballots.
No names on them.
Okay, well, they still found them in a river, whether they had a name on it or not.
Sir, those were Bed Bath & Beyond coupons. Well, they still got wet. They were in a river. Rarely do you see someone be a sore loser before they even play the game, but Trump, meanwhile, the president's third favorite son tweeted, "I know children running for first-grade class president that spend more time campaigning than Joe Biden has running for a president of the United States." You do? Who are these first graders you know? What are their names? And how do you know them? And does first grade even have a class president? We didn't when I was a kid. Is it possible that Donald Trump Jr. never went to school? And of all the things you could say about Joe Biden, lazy seems like a strange choice given that your father spends most of his time watching Lou Dobbs and dunking Big Macs into soup bowls full of ketchup. Speaking of Lou Dobbs, this is a good one. Lou Dobbs from Fox Business is Donald Trump sycophant #1, now with a bullet.
Well, the Lou Dobbs Tonight quote of the day comes from my new book, The Trump Century. In it, I wrote about the president, quote, "If President Trump can win again, he would join Winston Churchill and Alexander the Great among the greatest leaders of world history. And if he falls short, well, there is no point in considering the possibility. He's a winner, the winner."
Boy, you have to hand it to Lou. He skips right past the penis and goes straight to the ball pit. And Trump needs that right now. He needs that kind of support from his friends. The president and first lady visited the Supreme Court today to pay their respects to the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and that did not go as well as Trump had hoped. He was greeted, you can hear it, by boos and chants of "vote him out, vote him out, vote him out." Trump is planning to announce his nominee to replace Justice Ginsburg on Saturday. He says it will be a woman, somebody who looks good in a robe, hopefully. You know, I was thinking about it, and I was wondering how far would be too far for Republicans to support Donald Trump. So we went out on the street to do a socially distanced survey. We asked people what they thought of the president's decision to nominate his daughter Ivanka to be the next Supreme Court justice.
The big announcement today, President Trump replacing Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, announcing he'd be replacing her with his daughter Ivanka. What was your reaction when you first learned about that?
I was a little surprised. I think it's a good pick.
What do you like about her?
She's a smart businesswoman. She's educated, really good institutions, and I think she's going to be good for the economy, or excuse me, not the economy, good for the country.
Does the fact that she doesn't have a law degree matter?
I don't think it does.
Where did you watch the announcement?
Heard it on the radio.
Who were you with?
My son, he lives here in Hollywood.
What did he say?
He felt the same way.
What do you think of the redesigned gown he made for her with the high waist and the slit up the side?
He's a pervert. That's all there is to it.
Were you surprised when you saw the president make the announcement from the Oval Office with Ivanka on his lap?
I thought that image of Ivanka on his lap was completely and totally inappropriate. He's the president of the United States, the biggest and the greatest country on earth. That absolutely should not happen.
He says Ivanka promises to overturn Roe v. your boat. Do you think she should do that or no?
I don't know.
Is it time to overturn Roe v. your boat?
Potentially.
As a woman, do you find yourself more on the side of Roe or the boat?
Probably Roe.
I'm sure you saw this morning, President Trump stood on the White House lawn and said that Ivanka is just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but, pardon my language, tons hotter. When you saw that, how did you feel?
I felt very angry. It makes me sad. It's a very sexist thing to say. Definitely not something that a president should say about other women.
Do you agree with Donald Trump that it's time to add some sex appeal to the court?
Oh, this is such a, oh my God, this is crazy. Somebody would say that. No, absolutely not. Can I ask you real quick, are those facts that you're reading to me, are they true? Or that's something that you guys make up for the program?
Yeah, I'm making it up for the program.
So that's not true.
No.
Oh my God, I look like an idiot now because I never heard of that things. But I can imagine him doing this stuff. That's the crazy part.
That's
you
the
know?
crazy part.
All right, and one more thing before we forge ahead. It's Thursday night. We're back in the studio. That means it's time to bleep and blur the big TV moments of the week, whether they need it or not. It is this week in Unnecessary Censorship.
Billionaire Mike Bloomberg has stepped in to help in Florida off their ahead of Election Day.
Mayor de Blasio says he needs $9 billion yesterday to the hole.
This is completely overwhelming, and I you.
They gave him a big fat in the ass, and he comes out. And for 2 hours, he's better than ever before. You know?
You well. How important is it as a to see those first couple go through the bottom?
Obviously, it helps. It's nice to see those first ones go.
Why don't you keep my daughter's out of your filthy mouth?
Yeah, I like to hang out in my backyard, drink a couple beers, and some sometimes.
All right, well, it sounds good to me.
All right, we got a good show for you tonight. We have music from Amine. We have an amazing story, truly, from our healthcare hero of the week this week. And we'll be right back with Norman Reedus, so stick around. I am Jimmy Kimmel. Click below to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if you want to be that way about it, don't.